Tell us about your personal history in the state of Michigan. It's my understanding that you've been an incredible public servant over the past years, and you have a passion for something that's near and dear to almost everybody's heart. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. Well, first of all, yes, I do have a passion for the Great Lakes. I grew up in Allegan County and have spent most of my life in the Allegan County area, fairly close to Lake Michigan. Never want to get too far away from Lake Michigan.
Yep.
We need that lake fix on a regular basis. And because of that, and I think because my parents were very close to the earth, they were good stewards of our whole environment. We grew all our own food, with the exception of the food that we got from my uncle or my grandparents' farm.
Fantastic.
We were recyclers. My father was one of the first recyclers, I do believe, in the world. And because of that, I've always had a strong passion for natural resources and obviously for our Great Lakes and the role that our Great Lakes plays in the ecosystem that we are so blessed to be able to live with and here in Michigan. So that kind of started me out. I was on a township board for several years, the Saugatuck Township Board, served as a park and rec commissioner, and helped develop Saugatuck Dunes State Park, our best state park, I think, in the Michigan State Park collection.
Fantastic.
Great state park right along Lake Michigan, over 500 acres of totally undeveloped dune land, basically in the position that it was when our first Native Americans stepped out of the birch bark canoes. It's a great place.
Great.
But from that, I was encouraged to run for the legislature and was the state representative for Allegan County for 6 years. And after that, I ran for the state senate representing Eaton County, near where we're sitting, and Allegan and Berry counties also for 8 years.
What is the office of the Great Lakes, and what do you guys do in that office?
Well, the Office of the Great Lakes is kind of all things water.
Okay.
We deal with all things Great Lakes in our office. So anything from right now, we're dealing with some issues for the governor. We represent the governor on all water and Great Lakes issues. We speak for him unless he makes a speech or a presentation himself, which is a very good job to have, but it also comes with a lot of responsibilities. We have to make sure we research issues carefully. Right now we're working with legislation and or policies directed towards the invasive species issue, which are huge. The Asian carp obviously is the first one to spring to mind, but there are over 180 invasives in our Great Lakes waters. And we cannot forget about those other invasives, and we have to continue to work on them to guard to keep any more from entering and make sure that we contain and hopefully eventually eradicate those that are already here.
Another aspect of your career, something that you've worked on, is water withdrawal laws. And you touched on it earlier in this interview. Can you go into a little bit more specifically as to what those laws are and how they impact the Great Lakes and what we are here in Michigan?
Well, the water withdrawal laws in Michigan, and actually with the compact, require that you not take out any more than you return. It's called return flow. Now, whether that comes in a flow by returning it through clean sewer water, because we do clean our wastewater and it does get returned to the basin, or for the instance, farmers are very good, for the most part, are very good stewards of the environment. And people forget when farmers irrigate that a large part of that water gets returned right back to the earth.
Yep.
So that's another area where we have to watch, the water that we take out and the water that we return. And it has to be a balance, and that's one of the difficult things, and sometimes challenging to measure, but it's very important for the health of the ecosystem. We look at stream depth. If the stream gets too shallow that the healthy fish populations can't survive, then we have what we call an adverse resource impact.
Okay.
If the fish are dying because the stream is not deep enough, that's an adverse impact, and we're not returning enough water to that area.
So meaning one resource that's being depleted is adversely affecting another resource.
Some states were required to adopt legislation that dealt with withdrawing water, large amounts of water, 100,000 gallons a day or more. And we did the Great Lakes water withdrawal law, the first water withdrawal law in the Great Lakes based in a science-based tool. You can literally go to a website and put in your parameters, and you will know whether you're going to harm the water resource. And
Really?
you can withdraw water, or you're not going to harm it, and you can continue to, or you can sink a new well.
Really? That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, that's really exciting. We've
That's really
won
cool.
3 national awards for that law, and other states and some other nations are now copying what Michigan did. So
Congratulations.